There are actually three things I can refer to in talking about the time and the fact that you live by the second, really. One is the fact that we used film in the early days when I was on the air, and there was all this time that it took to process film and edit film. That was a real challenge, and if you had a late breaking story, and let's say you wanted to get it on as your lead story of the newscast, the worst thing you could hear an editor say is about 10 minutes before the newscast, "We're not going to make it." Meaning, I'm not going to be able to get this film edited in time to make the newscast, or at least the lead story. That was always frightening, and particularly if you were really planning on that. The second thing is that Howard Caldwell and I became arguably the first permanent two-person news anchor team in the state of Indiana.
2 FBI agents killed in South Dakota and man acquitted in killing of Indianapolis city official. I'm Ken Beckley.
And I'm Howard Caldwell.
Prior to that, Howard was anchoring the early evening news by himself as the head anchor, and I was anchoring the late evening news. Having a two-person team led to all sorts of timing challenges. Scripts had to be marked as to, okay, page one, or the first story, Howard's going to read the first story. Stories 2 and 3, Ken is going to read those. And they were marked thus so that the director knew which camera to call for. So, you start out on Howard and he ends the first story, okay, camera 2, stand by, and switch to Ken for stories 2 and 3, and so forth. And then the third thing, and it was a learning situation for me. I learned this particular newscast always to have extra news copy with you when you went on the air. This particular newscast, I was anchoring it by myself, and I got the signal of 1 minute to go in the newscast, and later, and I'm reading my final story. And then I get 30 seconds, and then 15 seconds, and then I look up and I'm getting the bye-bye. And so I finish my story, and as I look up to say, and that's the news, good night, I look up, this was staring me in the face. The director had mistimed. I still had a minute to go. I had no more copy. I was so proud of myself because as I had been reading the news, I was turning my pages in order. I just simply kept my eyes on the camera. I reach over here and I grab this stack of copy and I flip it back over and I say, repeating today's top stories, and I looked down and I started going through the first story, second story, third story, until I got the bye-bye and I finished the newscast. From that point on, I always had an extra copy with me, so I never had a timing problem again.